Welcome back to Josh's Smart Home. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to start a series today. I'm going to kick it off, and it's going to be about an easy and powerful way to set up a smart home for you. So whether you're a beginner, starting fresh, or if you're a seasoned vet, I'm sure you're going to learn something throughout this series. So stay tuned. So it's the first video in the series about building out a smart home and doing it in an easy and powerful way. There's one thing we need to take a step back and think about first, and that's how to plan a smart home. What I actually like to do is two things. I like to walk through my house and think about what I do and how I use different rooms, and what things maybe could be automated or easier for us, or which things I find to be just annoying in our house, so that I can find those and find smart home automations to address those items. The second thing I do is I like to draw out our house, the different rooms and the exterior and everything, and think about what are the challenges in each of those spaces. And that really gives me a lot of ideas about things that I could automate or utilize technology to just make my life better, whether it's save time, save money, or just automate away some of the tasks that I don't like doing or troublesome. I think it's just definitely a good way to go about that when you have a sketch of your house and think about how you use those spaces. In this video, I'm not really going to focus on all those automations. What I'm really going to focus on are the types of products and really things that can improve your quality of life, save you time, save you money, that type of thing. And just the things that we've been most pleased with, or maybe haven't been that pleased with, but you might be pleased with those. So I'm going to go through the different types of products here. And you're probably thinking, well, I probably just want to buy everything up front, and maybe, I can't afford everything right away, so it's going to change down the road. Yes, it probably will, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a game plan to start with. You probably don't have all the money or time, or money and time, to implement everything all at once. I'm not saying that you should, but what I'm saying is you should have an end game in mind, so that you're working towards that goal rather than just buying some random things that may or may not work together, that you have no real plan for on how to integrate them together. You'd have no real plan on what you're actually trying to achieve, so you're just randomly buying some stuff, and that's really not a good way to go about it. So let's jump right into the different product types. The first one I want to mention are the light switches. That's something that I really like at our house. We have Lutron Cassetta, and that's something that I think it makes a lot of sense if you own your home and you're planning on being there for a while. If you rent your house or don't feel like messing with the wiring or anything like that, there are also smart light bulbs. And when we talk about smart lights, not only are they smart bulbs, but we also have different LEDs that you could put in like an office space or underneath the bed, behind a TV, to add some extra immersive, experiences. There are external lights, so you can have the permanent outdoor lights like we have on the soffits, and we also have string lights around our pool. So lots of options when you're looking at these smart lights, in addition to just having those smart switches. I should also mention that the smart switches do enable you to have other things that are smart that are not lights. So maybe you have a fan or, a light switch that controls an outlet. So you do have some other options there where you may want to utilize a smart switch rather than a smart light bulb. The next few items I want to mention, the different product types, a lot of people have them, even if they aren't really a smart home household. Maybe they just have one product or a couple products. It's probably in these set of products coming up. And that would be the robotic vacuums and mops. That's a big hit. Everybody seems to like those. It really, saves you time and effort and keeps the house nice and tidy when, maybe you don't have time to do so. The next one would be the smart thermostat. So with a smart thermostat, you can save money there. You don't really have to think about it or do much with it after the initial setup. So it's an item that a lot of people like and a lot of people use. And the final item that I think, people that don't have smart homes, per se, use a lot will be the voice assistants. This is where we're talking about the Google Homes, the Amazon Alexa, and the Apple HomeKit with the voice assistant integrated there as well. So you have a lot of options there, and I think those are a lot of the smart products that you'll find in a lot of people's houses, not just like the diehard smart home fans. Let's jump to some products you might not see in everybody's houses, though. And this next category are smart appliances. So think smart washer, smart dryer, maybe like a sous vide, which is like a kitchen appliance that can cook your food. It can keep it refrigerated and then cook it when it's the appropriate time to cook it. Maybe smart, dishwasher, stove, microwave. smart refrigerator. I know that's a big item at this point as well. So anything that you have as an appliance that maybe you add the intelligence to, and I like to utilize some of those products in our house. We really just have the washer, dryer, and the sous vide at this point. But I've thought about, how do we incorporate other smart appliances? And one of the other items that, it probably falls into this category, but it's much closer, in my opinion, to the thermostats are the smart garage door openers. That's something you'll see in a lot of people's houses. So it's not just the diehards that are, into the smart home products that really look at that. It's really everybody that owns a home that's probably looking at the smart garage door openers. Additional smart home product categories you may want to consider in your smart home would be things like cameras and smart plugs, and then switches, which switches not like light switches, but we have a switch for our pool, for our, we act as a timer for the chlorinator and the pool pump so that we don't run those, an inappropriate amount of time. So we have a lot of things that are, automated in that fashion as well. Some of the things that we have that not everybody thinks about would be a smart vehicle integrated with our smart home. We have power walls as well as a solar setup. So those are other options to integrate in your smart home. There's also many other things that are pretty common where you're talking about like the smart leak sensors, the smart window and door, open close sensors. You have motion sensors. You have door locks. That's one that's pretty common that a lot of people have, even if maybe you don't have a smart house. You have the smart door locks when you can control those remotely or program, code into those so that somebody else can open them temporarily. So lots of good options there. In addition to the leak sensors, you may want to have other smart sensors as well for security or safety reasons. So one of those would be we have a device that listens to our smoke detector. So when that goes off, this device can identify that sound because it's a set sound that they have. And it can say, yes, it's going off, and it's like a Boolean. So we can act upon that and set off, whatever other automations we want in our house based on the fact that the smoke detector is going off. Another item there would be a siren. So we have sirens in the house as well, and you can utilize those. Sometimes you can get those with cameras or other devices, but we have dedicated siren as well in our house. And then there's a water shutoff valve, and that has been really neat. So there have been a couple times where somebody made a silly mistake, or there was something going on, and there was a water leak, and the leak sensors detected it, and we were able to shut the water off, automatically, which is a really really neat feature. So that's another one I really like. But this last one, I think it's my favorite, and that's the robotic lawnmower, snowblower, snowplow, and much more. I mean, this thing is awesome. We have the Yarbo, but there's other brands out there as well. So if you have different needs, maybe you're going to need a different product. But the Yarbo does a much larger area than any of the other robotic lawnmowers that I've seen. So that's been our choice with our larger lot here. And I almost forgot one more. We have smart blinds. The smart blinds are a really neat feature here, and we utilize those. We can have those automated, or we can control those with voice, and it's pretty neat item, and it prevents everybody from touching them. So definitely another item that you should consider in your smart home. So now it's time for you to decide, what do you want in your smart home, and start planning this out and thinking about which items would you like. And even maybe you can't do everything right now, you don't have the money or the time to do that, but make a list and prioritize that list. And then once you have that done, my next video is going to be talking about the protocols that you should look at depending on which of the devices you want to, dive into. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series where I help you set up an easy and powerful smart home.